Well, feel free to ask questions as we go along. If you think of anything in particular as we're going, don't hesitate to ask just because this is rolling. So I'm Kim. I'm the Missouri Director with the American Board. A little bit about our program. We are a nonprofit organization. Initially, we were started in 2001, and we were funded by the United States Department of Education. We've been in Missouri since 2008, so we are fully approved by the state of Missouri to offer this as an alternative certification program, and DESE recognizes this program as well for full certification. Are you familiar with DESE? That's always my first question.
A little bit. I know my substitute certificate
came from DESE. Well, they are the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. They are the organization that will certify you. They certify every teacher in the state of Missouri, and every teacher receives the same certification. Regardless of what route you choose to get certified, every teacher gets the initial professional certificate, or the IPC, and I'll get into that a little bit as we go along. But the requirements to go through this program are a bachelor's degree from an accredited university, a 2.5 cumulative grade point average, and that is going up to 2.75 in about a year. And then you also have to be able to pass a background check. And then the areas that we are able to certify for in Missouri are elementary education, and that's grades 1 through 5. English, history, general science, and math. Those are grades 5 through 12. So your certification would actually be for middle school and high school. And then biology, chemistry, and physics are the other ones, and those are just high school certifications. If we don't offer the program that you're looking for, then what you would have to do is go through this program and become certified in an area, and then go on and take an exam with DESE in the specific area that you're interested in. And as far as I understand, you may become certified in any other subject area with DESE by simply taking one of their exams once you're certified through us. So this is how it works. This program is completely online. It's self-paced and self-study, so that means you can enroll at any time. There is no certain start dates or semesters. When you start, you would have 1 full year to complete the program. So the completion of the program happens when you pass our 2 exams. So I'm going to kind of work backwards. You have 1 year to pass these 2 exams. The exams are the Professional Teaching Knowledge Exam, or the PTK test, and that is your teaching assessment exam. And then the other exam is your subject area. So whatever area you're getting certified in, you would take that corresponding exam. We have it set up to where you would be studying and taking the PTK test first with the study materials, but you can absolutely flip-flop that and study your subject area first and take that exam first. It really is laid out to accommodate whatever, however you want to navigate through it. The exams are taken at a Pearson VUE testing facility, and I know there's many around the Kansas City or Missouri area, and you will have access to register for those exams once you enroll in the program. And how that would work is you would have online access to Pearson VUE, and you would schedule your exams. So the exams, again, have to be taken within 1 year. The average candidate can get through this program in about 8 to 10 months. Since it's self-study, I can really only give you averages. Typically, I would say most people study 4 to 7 hours a week, and those people are getting through the program in 8 to 10 months. Our average candidate does have a full-time job, so this program is designed to go through while you're working full-time and still be able to complete it in 8 to 10 months. But you do have that full year, because obviously anything can happen within a year's time. Something could come up. So the study materials, and I highly encourage you to really start this process prior to enrolling with doing the 1-week free trial on our website. It really gives you a glimpse into the study materials. And since it's self-study and self-paced, to get a look at what the study materials are, I think is really beneficial. This program isn't for everyone. You really have to have self-discipline. There's not anyone there really holding you accountable, which is a great thing, and at the same time doesn't work for everybody. So the study materials come in the way of everything's online. So it's going to be workshops and webinars and reading material, refresher courses. Any Any PDF file you're able to print out and put in a binder, which is what most people do, so you can highlight and take notes. Any of the videos you're able to have access to for the entire year, so you can go back and watch a video as many times as you want. So when you start the program, and let's say you started with the PTK test first, or the teaching assessment exam first, it's laid out to where there's 4 modules. Each module has a subject area heading, and then under each module or under each heading, there are all of the study materials for that specific module. And again, those are reading materials and videos. When you complete all 4 modules, there is a practice exam. And that practice exam you can take as many times as you want. It's around 300 questions, which isn't going to be nearly as many that's on your exam. And we tell people if you're getting around an 80% or higher, then you're likely ready to go on and take the actual exam. So it's a really good way to see where you're at and what specific areas you might need to go back and study. Once you complete those 4 modules and the practice exam, then you would go on and take your actual exam and then come back and study the next 4 modules for your subject area exam and then take that one. I will send you a follow-up email, or you can look on our website for the study plans for each of the subject areas and for the PTK test. And it's another good place to start, when you're doing the free trial. These study plans will tell you exactly what's on the exam and to what percentage each subject area within the exam is covered. So let's say you're going into math. So it would tell you algebra, and I'm not giving the actual information here. But if, let's say you're going into math and it might say algebra is covered at 10%, geometry 15%, calculus 12%, and so on and so forth. And then after you get through that page of the study plans, it'll tell you really specifically under like algebra, linear algebra, whatever else might be under there, really specific details about what's covered on the exam. So if you're already proficient, in a subject area, this might be information that you already know. If you're going into a subject area that you're not overly familiar with or don't have your degree in, you can determine at that point, if you're if this is a subject area that you really want to go into, or maybe look at another one. The exams are pretty rigorous. This process to become certified, going this route, is simple. The process is simple, the exams are not. So I like to be really clear about that up front. That being said, Mathematica is an organization that does mainly educational studies, and they did one on our program and determined that if you study all of the materials provided for you, then we would have a 96% pass rate, meaning all of the materials for you to be successful on these exams is there and available to you for the entire year, as well as preparing you to be a teacher. Many of our candidates are career changers and haven't worked in a classroom before. And so this program really is designed for career changers to teach them the pedagogy of working in a classroom, lesson planning, curriculum, all of the materials and knowledge that you're going to need to be a successful teacher is there available to you as well. We really pride ourselves on our teachers, and we have great feedback from administrators. In fact, we have a 95% approval rate from administrators of teachers that have gone through this program and then gone into teaching. So I think that really speaks highly of this program and how well we prepare our teachers. So before I go any more forward, do you have any questions so far about the exams or study materials at this point?
Has it happened before where someone actually does complete the program in less than 8 months?
Yes. Personally, the quickest I've ever seen someone get through the program is 3 months. And she was substitute teaching part-time, and she had just graduated 2 years. This has been a couple of years, but she had just graduated 2 years prior to that. And she was getting her certification in the area that she had just gotten her degree in. So, it really depends on what you bring to the table in the way of your subject area and, how much time you have to put towards this. But certainly, if you don't have kids at home, that's always another factor. I know people that have gone through this program that have 2 and 3, 4 kids at home, and they're still getting through it in 8 to 10 months. That's a good question. Any other questions so far? Okay, so once you pass those 2 exams, we will send you a completion certificate from the American Board that you have successfully completed this program. You will give that completion certificate to DESE because again, they are the ones that will certify you. Before DESE will certify you though, you do have to complete contact hours in a classroom. And here's how those work. Your contact hours for elementary ed, are either of you interested in elementary ed? No. Okay, well just to throw it out there, that's a 90-hour requirement. Any of our other subject areas are a 60-hour contact hour requirement. And the way you get those hours is by substitute teaching. That's the #1 way. And you're already substitute teaching?
I'm a parent in a special education class.
So that's the second way, is to be a paraprofessional. And then to be a lead instructor in a public or private school, or a combination of any of those. So the #1 way to become, or to get your contact hours for our candidates has been substitute teaching. And then paraprofessional is usually the second way. 60 hours is about a week and a half, so it's not a ton of hours that you have to complete, especially compared to student teaching. If you go the master's route or go back to college to get another degree and you do the student teaching, that's usually a 3 to 4 month requirement that you're not getting paid for. So again, that's another bonus for going through this program. Is you don't have to do the student teaching, and most of our candidates do already have a full-time job, so aren't able to, do student teaching. So that's a great pro to going through this program. I always recommend substitute teaching or being a para for as long as you can, because obviously the more experience you have in a classroom, especially leading the classroom, that's going to work to your advantage when you go to apply for the job. So you can get those contact hours while you're going through this program, or you actually would have a year after you've completed the program to complete them as well. And all past hours count. So if you've been a para for however long, all those hours will count towards your contact hours. Same with substitute teaching. You just need to get them verified by a school administrator. And on that follow-up email, I will send you a contact hours log, so you can fill that out and have an administrator sign it, and that would go to DESE as well. So the requirements from DESE are to complete this program successfully in under a year, complete your contact hours, either 60 hours or 90 hours if you're elementary ed, and then they will do your background check, and they will need your transcripts, obviously, to verify your GPA, and that you went to an accredited college. If you're already a para or a substitute, then they would already have all of that information, so you don't have to resubmit it.
Okay.
Once they have verified everything and you've completed your application to be a teacher, they will issue you then your IPC, and that is your initial professional certificate, and that's your state license to teach. So at that point, you can teach in any public, private, or charter school within the area of your certification. And also at that point, if there are other subject areas that you're interested in teaching, once you have that IPC, you can take an exam with them to add on certifications without having to go back to school. Any questions so far about the IPC? Let me say this too though. The IPC is only good for 4 years, so there's an expiration date on it. That really only comes into play if you don't get a teaching position within that 4-year time frame.
Okay.
Once you start teaching, and this is on the back of this Missouri card too, by the way, it kind of goes in order. Once you start teaching, you will teach for 2 years. You have to complete 30 hours of professional development, which if you work in a school now, you know that it's pretty much automatic that all teachers have to do professional development hours. You will have a mentor at your school, so it's basically a support person for your first couple of years of teaching that's going to be there to kind of help you out and guide you. And then you'll have to get positive principal evaluations as well. So once you teach for those 2 years, then you will get your Missouri Career Continuous Professional Certificate, and that's your ongoing, I believe it's good for 99 years. It used to be called the Lifetime Certificate, but it is pretty much for your Lifetime Certificate. And that's the process. It really is simple to go this route and become certified this route. Just to kind of recap, you enroll in the program at any time. You have 1 year to pass those 2 exams. Then you would need to complete your contact hours and submit everything to DESE, get your IPC, get a teaching position within that 2 to 4 year time frame, and then teach for 2 years and get your ongoing certification. Does all of that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Is there a salary difference between when you first go on as the, like right after you get the certificate for the mentoring? Is there a difference between that salary and then once you're actually?
No, because you're actually the lead teacher right from the get-go. The mentoring program really is just to give you that support person, and they'll do a little bit more than support you. They'll write reports about you, but it's the way I look at it is, you know, when you go into teaching, especially if you haven't done student teaching hours, and the mentoring program, by the way, is for all teachers. It's not just for people that have gone through this program. It's for all incoming new teachers, and everyone has to do it for the first 2 years. And then teachers at the school already have volunteered to be a mentor in the program. So it's really just someone to support you and help you out and kind of guide you for your first couple years. So it's a really good program just to, you know, so you know you have someone to go to if you need anything. Any other questions?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, I will get into pricing then. On the back of this pamphlet, and this is on our website as well, you'll see the Standard Plus and Premium program at the bottom. The Standard program is not offered anymore. It didn't come with study material, so we've kind of done away with that. So you would be looking at the Plus program or the Premium program. The Premium is not offered in general science, history, or elementary ed. Really, the difference is you're going to get all of the study materials that you need to pass these exams with the Plus program. The great thing about the Premium program is if you're going into a subject area that you're not really confident about, or maybe this is a newer subject area, it's going to come with an extra subject area workbook. So it's especially good for math because it helps you work through a lot of those problems, the upper level sciences. English, if you're going into English, there's around 100 literary works that you have to know for English, so it really guides you through that. So, you know, I just tell people if you're proficient in your subject area, you're probably great with Plus. Our financial assistance is solely based on household income. And if you qualify, it makes the cost of the Plus program, and it's only good for the Plus, it makes the cost $1,700, and you can do the 8-month installment on that. So on the follow-up email I send you, there will be the financial assistance chart to see if you might qualify. And then if you think you might qualify for our financial assistance, you might talk to a Missouri Career Center, and they offer what's called the Workforce Investment Act, and it's a government-funded program for low-income people or anyone who's been a dislocated employee or unemployed. I believe anytime within the last 2 years. If you qualify for the Workforce Investment Act program and you're approved by them, then they would cover the cost of the program in full. So it is a really great program should you meet their guidelines. And I'll send you the link to find a local career center to see if you might want to go in and talk to them. That's pricing. Again, you can enroll on our website at any time. On that follow-up email, I will send you the application for financial assistance for the regular Plus and Premium program. And then our enrollment specialist, Chris Lewis, will likely be reaching out to you within the next day or two. He's able to answer any further questions you might have, and he's also able to enroll you over the phone. But as the Missouri director, I am always available before you enroll, while you're in the program. Any issues or any questions you might have, I'm always available to answer anything you guys need. Okay, so that's pretty much it, but any questions you guys can think of?
So what's the job workshop bonus?
So that comes with the premium program, and the job workshop bonus is going to be basically a guide on how to get the job once you're certified. It gives you tips and
Career services type?
What's that?
Kind of like a career services?
Kind of. It's more of it's not with a person. It's basically a guide. But I mean, it's a great thing. It's a great tool to have whenever you're ready to start applying for jobs. You know, anything that you can have to help you get the job is a bonus, I think. So it's just an added bonus that comes with it. Anything else y'all can think of?
Not for me.
I think that was all the questions. I made sure I asked them immediately or else I'll forget.
Yeah, I understand. Well, if you ever think of anything, you can call or email, and I'm happy to help any way I can. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks. And we can take these.
They are all yours.
Okay. And you have our email, so good.
Yes, I'm gonna give you a card too, though. When you got this, and then I will give you a card.